Well, greetings everybody. Welcome back to another video. And just 2 years ago, I did not think I would own one of these devices. You might think, um, well, that's just an iPhone 8, which you've had in your collection for years, right? Well, yes. But, or iPhone 7 or 6, you probably can't tell just from the front. But yes, it is an iPhone 8. Um, but it is a very unique iPhone model because this is actually a prototype. Um, it is a late stage prototype because it does run iOS. So yes, this is a gold iPhone 8, a prototype iPhone 8 in a later stage. I forget what they call it. It might be PVT. I can't remember because I'm not a prototype expert. Unlike some other Apple collectors, there are some Apple collectors out there that do deep dives and that are huge experts on what stage of prototype this is. But is an iPhone 8 running iOS 11, its very first version, 11.0, but it's actually running an even earlier build. I believe it's still a beta stage of iOS 11.0. So, is what I was told. So this is really cool. There aren't too many physiological differences. There are obviously a lot of bugs because it's a test software still of iOS 11. But it does have the default addable Apple apps there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so there's really no difference. Like some earlier prototype versions, obviously the software is a lot different since they don't even run iOS. They kind of have testing apps and other stuff to make sure the phone is where it should be. I'm pretty sure. But maybe one day I'll finally have one of those. Maybe I'll be able to get my hands on one. But usually prototypes cost in the thousands. Like, they are not cheap. I mean, test phones, test software. But I mean, I was able to get this for, I believe it was $370. I think the seller wanted $450. And yes, I did prepay for it. I literally took out my emergency credit card just to buy this because I could not pass up on this when I saw it on eBay and saw that that seller was legit. So I did want to make sure that I did indeed pick this up. So I paid about $370 for it. Steal of a deal. So I'm very happy I have a prototype in my collection. And maybe one day I'll be able to get my hands on a much earlier stage of prototype where it doesn't even run iOS. But I think that would be pretty insane to have. There is a seller that I do have watched on eBay that does sell them. They're typically like $1,000 to $2,000. So I mean, they aren't cheap, but pretty crazy. And so yeah, so it is the iPhone 8 Gold, 64 gig, iOS 11.0 prototype. So really cool. As I said, it is a later version, so it does run iOS. I don't know what exact stage. If you are an Apple prototype expert, and yeah, right, then you can probably put in the comments what stage of prototype this is, since there are deeper dive experts out there. But I am just happy that I can say I do have an iPhone prototype in my collection because not every Apple collector can say they do have one. So I'm very happy I can say I have one. Maybe one day, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get my hands on an earlier stage of a prototype, as I've said. But I am very happy I have this one, and I'm happy that I got it for the price I did, even though it is still a pre-price tag. But pretty cool. And there is one physical difference. It does have some label there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is something there. That obviously that obviously not your typical iPhone 8 or any iPhone would have. So signifying that this is a prototype. Oh, it says PRB. So this is the PRB stage. So it's obviously a later version. So and but neither way, nonetheless, this is really cool to have in my collection. Um, but anyway, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, very happy I have this, and peace out, everybody.